That's not a bad way to be. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It is Andrew. That is Neil. Hey, look, I got it right this week. That is Neil. This is Under the Rug. It's a show where, we just speak our mind. We share our opinion. We offer you to go. I've just got my looping in my ear because we've started playing here, so I need to mute that. We share our opinion. We encourage you to go do your own research and everything that we say. But yeah, we just here to have fun, really, more than anything. Neil, how you doing, brother? I mean, how's your week been, mate? Tell me.
Oh, it's been a really really interesting week, But I'm so distracted from the bullshit.
Me too.
It's like it's not bullshit really. It's the 40,000 foot view I'm kind of distracted from. But I mean, I guess those of you that know us, then you already know what we're talking about, which is fine. But that we're still excited and buzzing from that. But that comes with its ups and downs as well. The ups and downs from there means interacting with this banking system that's fucking collapsing in our face. We can see it. The minnows can't. They're going to get a big uppercut shortly. But anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, there's something coming out. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can find it. I'm sure I'll be able to because I know exactly who shared it. But we last week we spoke about the collapse, the pending collapse, and then the bank collapse. Right, that was the topic last week. And today we're going to be talking about the debt ceiling, which of course really follows on perfectly from the banks collapsing. But I love this. I was accused of scaremongering today, ultimately having to ask for your own. Actually, I'll just share it so everybody can see what I'm reading. I was accused of scaremongering today, ultimately having to ask your own bank permission to spend your own money is intolerable. Now it's further down here. This is right here is what $8,000 limit to spending your own money in a day come into effect real soon. So from the 20th of August 2023, the following default daily limits will apply on full access business debit MasterCard. Transaction limit of $8,000. Cash withdrawal limit of $1,000. So that's half of what it is now.
Holy
So
fuck.
do you think they're fucking scared? I do.
Well, their Ponzi scheme is collapsing free fall. And those that know where to look or are looking in the right direction can see it and are probably feeling it.
100%.
And it's probably, I would say the people that are feeling it the most are the people that are in the crypto space and looking to move into there, because any mention or any redirection of fiat funds into that space puts so many red flags up, and which requires you a phone call to the fraud department, and then you get the whole list. You can sit there and literally listen, and it's almost like watching all those different TV channels. It's the same fucking script.
Isn't it? It's ridiculous, isn't it? It astounds me that that we're still operating in this antiquated system.
But on that, as we've sort of talked about that, it's like the problem is we're trying to continue to survive in a world and in a false world on false paper that doesn't really exist, and so we're seeing the collapse of that. So, but when today, and there was two posts, one that you saw and the one that I saw, was finally the banking system will disappear and the issues will disappear when the real world that we live in will accept tokens for their real face value that they are, i.e. play that thing was, whereas XRP is,
I thought we could finish with that on a high note, but whatever.
Okay. Well, let's put that one hold. Time out on that.
Put a pin in that. Hang around for the XRP update. That's pretty good.
But it's like that everybody's trying to leverage between the two platforms, or to create value over here and then get it back into where they can spend it here, which is the existing system.
And that's the problem: is the rails on and off, as you've just discussed. And you try to get your money into cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden you're a criminal just because you want to do something different with your money. You get asked 50 questions. It doesn't matter how long you've been in crypto, and how experienced you are, whether you know exactly what you're doing. They don't give a shit. And the reason they don't give a shit, I had this issue with a friend last night. They were trying to send money from CoinSpot to a private wallet, and it's been stopped twice. It's like over $5,000, and they're like, "What's it for?" I'm like, "It's none of your fucking business what it's for. It's my money. I just uploaded it. You saw me upload it, and now I'm moving it to my personal wallet. So fuck off. It's none of your business." But no, they don't like it. And the reason being is because they haven't got any fucking money.
Although, and so you think about the rail going back the other way. It's like you can load it into you get it back into cash into your back office, into your bank account, no problem at all.
Of course, because they want that.
But if it's too big amount, they'll question you and block your account anyway.
Because you're a criminal.
I had that through. Oh no, I just had that with a bloody money transfer.
Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I'm being facetious when I say that, but that's how they treat you.
Yeah, but that's that's got to that point because the fact is their system's coming to an end, and they're grabbing at straws. They're doing anything that they can to sort of slow that whole Humpty Dumpty down.
Chip, their time is coming. Their time is near. So yeah, but obviously we said actually before I jump into that, guys, if you are just joining us, please like and subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. We've got a grand total of 3 people watching here on YouTube. I haven't looked on Rumble, but thanks. We love having you here. We appreciate you. I do know that Facebook shadow bans that post that I make every week, so maybe we need to look at a different way of getting that out. But anyway, so if you are just joining us, thanks. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out with your friends. So the debt ceiling. Let's have a bit of a yarn about that. What are we talking about? Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say the debt ceiling? Neil, what do you think?
So basically, when we talk about the debt ceiling, we're talking about one country in particular, which is the USA. And I think we're talking about the corporation of the USA.
Yes.
part of their banking system, which most people are kind of entrenched into, and really that's all that they know exists. So their monthly working budget, they keep trying to spend more than their budget allows. And
what are they, 32 trillion now or something like that?
I don't know that. And it's like, so when they get to that point, and you get to the point where you start defaulting on your monthly expenses. And so it's been easy for them in the States because rather than default, they just increase their debt ceiling by printing more money so that they can pay their bills. So every time that they do that, they water down the cost of living across the board for everyone. So
no, they don't water it down; they increase it.
Sorry,
by increasing the money supply, the women. That's why inflation's rampant at the moment.
I kind of meant what I was saying is they're watering down the value of the money. You know,
yes, that is true. They're definitely watering down the value. And you've only got to look at that for the last 100 years. The buying power of gold, the buying power of the dollar versus what gold is. You can only buy from 100 years ago, based on $100, you can only buy about $1.90's worth of value, the same as you could back then for $100. You know, yeah, you know what I mean. So it's you're only getting the same spending power of $1.92 as opposed to 100. It's ridiculous.
It's great, and of course they have controlled the value of gold as well.
You mean manipulated?
Well, yeah.
Same with the silver. All of the precious the precious stones market. De Beers have got all those diamonds hidden under their freaking shop. All of it's manipulated. 100% of it. The stock market's manipulated.
Yeah.
The forex market's manipulated.
Yeah. Everything. And so the debt ceiling and them raising this, and it's like they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. What they do, and they're just by continually raising the debt ceiling, they are prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah.
And the more they try to raise it, the bigger the crash that's going to frigging come. And clearly, this crash, if it's them that crashes first, then America will be the first to fall, and there will be a massive domino effect of not just of countries doing the same thing. And I would say probably the Five Eyes countries will be the first of the dominoes to fall. But US is certainly is the one that's out in mainstream media, sort of with all the discussion and trying to calm the masses and sort of fluff it up to sort of take any real what's really going on out of their mind, so that they just carry on and
Yeah, of course.
more, you think?
You just reminded me of something. If monarchies are ruled by monarchs and empires were ruled by emperors, what are countries ruled by?
I knew you were going there.
Just a question for everybody to consider, just ponder. Okay, so what have we got here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what Mr. Rand Paul says, shall we? I'm going to open that.
He's a good sort of he's a good tick off into that space at probably the top of the political.
I haven't watched this either, by the way, ladies and gents. So I'm seeing this for the first time too. Hold on, bear with me.
It's kind of.
The House reached a deal with the White House on the debt limit. Unfortunately, fake conservatives agreed to fake spending cuts, and conservatives were sold out once again. The Biden-McCarthy debt deal will add over $4 trillion in new debt over the next 2 years. The Biden-McCarthy deal never balances the budget, and it cements the COVID spending binge that drove inflation. The Biden-McCarthy deal will push our national debt to nearly $35 trillion in just 2 years. The deal keeps 98% of the expansion and funding of the new IRS agents, and it doesn't cut a penny of Democrats' crony energy giveaways. I will absolutely not vote to expand our national debt by $4 trillion. When the bill reaches the Senate, I will offer a conservative alternative. My solution replaces the fake spending caps with real spending caps on total government spending. The spending caps are part of my 5-penny budget plan that balances the budget in just 5 years. My 5-penny plan creates a mandate that the federal government can't spend more than it brings in. Spending increases are forbidden from exceeding revenue forever. Our government's approach to budgeting is entirely irresponsible. No American is allowed to continue running up copious amounts of debt without consequences. At some point, the bills must be paid and spending must stop. If Congress had adopted my original penny plan in 2017, the federal budget would be balanced today. Unfortunately, they didn't have the courage. Thankfully, it's not too late to reverse course. It's time that legislators come together and pass my conservative solution. We can't fight a 5-alarm fire with a water pistol. For once, Congress must have some common sense and pass my conservative solution before it's too late.
Yeah, good luck.
So that was obviously a leading politician not going to support the bill put forward, and obviously having his own bill for the solution. But he really hits on the points on why it's just fucked.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but who the world's in debt? Like, the states is 32 trillion by themselves, and the world's in debt, or was it 31 trillion? Somewhere around there. The world's in debt, trillions and trillions of dollars. Who to? Who do we owe this money to? Who owns the world that we have to fucking pay rent to be here?
Is that part even on the pyramid? Is the pyramid that we kind of follow? It's like, is it above here? I don't know.
Yeah, it's beaming it up, but it's just
we've talked about this, and there's some what's the guy name Maloney
Mike Maloney
does a great thing on the history of money and the changes and all the way through history, and we are at probably one of the biggest changes in human history on so many different levels. And, our monetary system has got to the end of its use by date. and it's well over that. And so they need to trash it and get on with the new system. So hopefully, with everything that we've been researching ourselves over the last 2 years, that we have to be comfortable there is a new rail system or monetary system working in the background, and this bubble of the fiat system needs to collapse and come down. So
it does.
And therefore, and where I was getting at with that is that for the old system to go and like all of that debt, so if a government can forgive debt, then that debt has to be forgiven across the board, clean slate, everyone.
For everyone, exactly. And that's exactly what Nasara and Jasara are.
Exactly, and that's
hey, Corrado, how are you?
Yeah,
pleased to have you with us. I'm just trying to look on Mike Maloney's Maloney, not Mahoney. It was my bad. Sorry, my apologies. You said it right. I didn't. Looking on his. In fact, I'm going to post the playlist here. I can share it.
Because he gives a great history, and if you follow history, and we know that history repeats itself, and I think it's generally is it how many years? Is it like every 10 years or something?
What?
Well, I guess I know they've always been able to project the sort of property market sort of up and downs every 7 years, but monetary systems coming and going, probably every 100 years, maybe. I'm not sure if it's 100 or 50, but
I think it might be in the first episode of that, and it's called Money versus Currency. I'm pretty sure in that first episode he talks about fiat currency. Excuse me. Yeah. And he mentions that not one out of 2,000 plus, not one fiat currency has ever survived, and they have a lifespan of about 50 to 60 years, and that's it. And guess what? When was the Bretton Woods Agreement? When did we go off the gold standard?
Yeah, was that
1970, 71 or 73, when Nixon took the states off the gold standard and everybody else followed suit. So what's that? 70 to 23? It's about 50 years.
Yeah.
So we're right at the end. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And if you read some of the stuff that we've read, that you and I've read, then everything points to tomorrow. Don't panic! Don't panic! But everything points to tomorrow.
We just don't know what's tomorrow.
Well, no. Everything says that the 1st of June. I mean, with this, obviously it depends on what happens with this vote in the Senate. And I haven't heard what the result of that was. If anyone has heard, then please drop it in the chat for us, and we can look at it. If you've got links, even better. We'll have a look at them now. But it depends on what happens in that vote. I mean, if they raise the debt ceiling, you said it perfectly. They're still going to collapse. It's just going to take that little bit longer. But if they don't raise the debt ceiling, then somebody's got to pay right now. And everything's pointing to the fact that tomorrow, the 1st of June in the United States, it's the 1st of June here in the Antipodes, but the 1st of June in the United States is when everything starts to, not start, because it's been well going for a long time, but when it actually finally implodes. And if you think about that, it's a Thursday. So for that news to drop on a Thursday in the States, then there's a Friday after following that. When's all the major crashes happened?
Yeah.
Interesting times, that's for sure.
Oh, but another interesting note on that, and as we move into June, we have had a pretty exciting May, but moving.
Well, you and I particularly.
That's another story. That's another story for another channel.
For another show, exactly.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but there's this SEC case with Ripple going on at the moment. And
sorry. Going on. Yeah.
And it's been going on and on and on and on. But and the judge that's at the top of this, and she's at the final. She's kind of still. They're waiting for her to make a decision on this. And because it's been going on for so long, if she doesn't make a decision by, and I'm thinking it's mid-June, that she herself has to go to in front of a board to question whether her judging ability, she could lose her ability to judge. She doesn't make a decision because she's been nearly 2 or whatever the whole process. She's got a time frame.
It started in 2021.
yeah, so it's like she's got a time frame, and that is, I think, the middle of June. So if they get a decision across that, whatever the decision is, XRP will be released from its shackles and be able to do what it will do. So the timing of that, and with the debt ceiling and with everything, like the timing is very, very interesting.
They all line up just a little too coincidentally, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So and we know what we feel about coincidence. So when you started that whole story, and you said it's been going on so long, and you started saying about the judge, I thought you were going to say has forgot what the case was even about. Oh, sorry, snorting. Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Oh, dear.
Oh, I cracked myself up.
Oh, look, I've got to say, I've got to put a shout out here to Corolla and Rodgo. You know, these guys are on our show every week. You know, and they're sort of based in Canada. I think that you're moving back to back home. So I'm not sure if you've completed that journey and whether you're in a slightly different time zone now. But you know, I'm just so honoured to have you guys. You know, you're our international family. It's cool.
Absolutely. Good to have you here as always.
Oh.
So we mentioned last week that, and this is probably something I could leave to the end of the show, but you know, I'm going to say it now anyway. Mentioned last week that there's a good possibility that I will be won't be able to do a show next week and probably the week after, and that is confirmed. It is true. The cat is actually out of the bag. I was trying to keep it a secret, but my sisters now know I'm going to Rarotonga for their 50th. They'll hate that I just said that they're 50th on women on a live show, but anyway, I've got twin sisters. They turn 50 on the 10th of June, and I'll be in Rarotonga. So this time next week, I'll be in the sun. That said, I think I'm still going to be really freaking busy with what's just happened in the last 10 days and the announcement that I just heard this morning.
Is that the one you posted to me before?
Yes, about the 15th. Yep.
Oh, okay. On that note, I'm going to be busy as well.
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. So the show won't be on for the next couple of weeks, guys, because I'm not going to be in the country and I won't have my setup here. I would leave it to Neil to do it, but I love Neil dearly. He's a little bit technically challenged and can't put this together.
Only here. This works fine.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, and the faculty's still going too. So you're good.
I guess there's only so much you can talk about when you go straight to the bigger picture of the debt ceiling, and they're sort of damned if they do and damned if they don't, and kind of not really much more that we can talk to with that.
No, just about. I think you did freeze a little bit. I think the biggest thing I'd want people to take away from that is that it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, this is like the slowest Band-Aid pull in history. That's remember, we know to if you want to get the pain over with, you rip the Band-Aid off quickly so that it doesn't hurt as much. You get that sting, but it doesn't pull and pull and pull. Well, this has been pulled for the last 30 years. You know, it's been the slowest Band-Aid pull in history. And I think what people need to realize out the back of this, yes, there may be some hard times. And there's a line in The Big Short that Brad Pitt says to his young mentees, and they're excited because they're about to make bank on The Big Short, right? That's all about the last collapse in 2008. They're about to make bank on this Big Short, and Brad Pitt's character says to them, "Think about this. Well, you're betting. It's good if you win. That's great, yes, but remember, for you to win, all of America has to lose their houses." So that kind of puts it into context. Yes, we're at that moment again because of mismanagement, because they bailed out the banks instead of letting them fucking fail like they should have. Yes, and because of that, the banks could see the writing on the wall. That's why the bail-in laws have been written. We spoke about that last week. It was confirmed. I think 250,000 is the limit in Australia. So if you got more than that, they'll use it. And I think I'm pretty sure it was Tracy said 100K she believes for New Zealand. So more than 100K, then it's not necessarily safe. But what you need to know, that's still reflected, it's still mirrored in the QFS, but it's not going to last forever. and there's a really bright future for everyone at the back end of it.
If you go back to The Big Short,
Yeah,
in the
great
movie, and like if you look at, so the movie was a message, right? And if you learned the message or you picked up the message and you've been watching the bigger picture, then you will have hedged your bets on what you're seeing play out now. And so hence, I don't know whether we actually learned directly off that. We saw the opportunities, but we've learned the lessons, and we can see what's happening. So we're well diversified.
Absolutely.
And to take advantage of this, it's we want it to happen faster. Faster we want the whole rug pull now.
Yeah, it just happen.
Get this over and done with, because
then it'll be over the rug.
Yeah. We'd be Aladdin's magic flying carpet then.
Sorry.
But that's like, everybody that's kind of with us, we'd like to think that you've learned that lesson and you've hedged your bets as well. And, you don't need for us to tell you where the hedge is. You should already know that. If you want something moving forwards, then message us individually, because we could take you through that. But we're not going to get online and talk to financial stuff online.
No, we're not offering financial advice anyway. Everything here is of a general nature in our opinion. That said, I sold my Maserati and bought gold and silver. Just because I knew my Maserati was going to go down in value, but gold and silver wasn't. People ask me, what happened to your car? I sold it. Oh, I couldn't afford it. No, I put it all into gold and silver. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What do you know that I don't know? What
do you mean? You sold your beautiful sports car and got gold and silver? Damn right I did.
Jeepers. And I visit that more often than I was visiting my car anyway.
Yeah, that's right. My car sat in the garage and didn't go anywhere because I had my other one. And I was like, what? I'm just letting it depreciate in the garage. You know what? I could put this I could make this gold and silver, mint it, and get a return from it. And boy, have I what?
Yeah. So you made that Maserati finally turn around and work for you.
Yeah, dead right. It's worth more now than it was when I bought it.
What was I going to say there? You changed the vehicle. You changed it into a different vehicle.
That's right. This one flies. I transmuted it.
Oh dear.
Sorry, we're talking rubbish now. So what was that one from Russia with Love? What is that? Should we have a look at that, or is that X-rated?
No, it's not X-rated. It's, I guess, and if you look at the debt ceiling and then you look at all the sanctions that they put on Russia, it's kind of it's a bit of a giggle. It's lighthearted. That's what this show's all about. And, she's nice to look at. So, and play it. Because it makes perfect sense, and it kind of just nails the sort of the sanction shit on the head.
Hello Americans, this is Natasha from Russia, and we want to thank you for all your sanctions, for taking away from our country Coca-Cola, KFC, McDonald's, and all that shit. We understand that you take care of our healthiness. Healthy. And that's why we'll be stronger and more beautiful and without fat. So, we take care of you too. And that's why we cut our gas. So, you have to walk by foot instead of using your cars. Don't thank you. Don't say thank you. Friendship. I am so sorry. I have to go to feed my bear and drink vodka and play balalaika right now. See you later. From Russia with love.
Oh, yep. Lighthearted's right.
But I mean, as lighthearted as it was actually some quite
Valid stuff. Absolutely. Yep. I'll give you that. 100%.
and on that they bloody they closed down all the McDonald's there. They've rebranded them, the whole thing, and they've actually got healthy food coming out of there now under a different brand.
That's right. They're using the infrastructure. So I said at the time, and I think we may have even said it on here, that's all part of the Jasara plan as far as I'm concerned.
Mm. Yeah.
To get rid of the shit food.
Yeah. But McDonald's was never really about food anyway.
No, it was real estate.
Yeah. So was it
it was real estate, but really it was about disposing of
oh, okay, let's not go there.
we might get shut down for that.
Yeah, we'll get shut down for that.
We might start a Patreon channel to share that stuff so people can hear the stuff we want to say that we can't say publicly.
I just lost any thought of hunger right then.
Why, Neil? What happened? What?
But yeah, with everything moving forwards and everything that seems to be transpiring, around the world with all the different movements across the board, XRP's taken a nice little jump up in the Richter scale over the last, and it's not been a sort of sharp jump. It's been a nice sort of a climb, and I'm not sure it's sort of dropped down a little bit today, but really interesting as it sort of leads into everything that's going on at the moment.
Yep.
So looking forward to, the fact that these guys, you had that other story about.
Yep. I'll bring that up too, but I've got your video up first. I think we lead with that rather than the other way around. So I think XRP got as high as 53 cents last night. Now I remember right before, if we go back to XRP for a sec, obviously we're going to finish on XRP, guys, but I remember right before that lawsuit, XRP got up around $2. I know I was excited because I was making $1,000 every time it went up 10 cents. I was like, giddy up! And then it went, but I kept all my holdings. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I traded it one night and lost 27,000 in one night. I was like, fuck, dollars. Ouch. Not XRP, dollars. I was like, fuck.
Ouch.
But I managed to build that back up. So,
trading is a real art, takes a lot of time and dedication. And unless you do that and you're prepared to put the hours into that, then you're just gambling. So don't waste your time. Either if you buy a token, do your research on it, and then be comfortable with what you've got and hold and know what you're holding.
Yep, absolutely.
Leave the trading for the experts.
You got to be there. I mean, I didn't lose there. I mean, I made it all back, but it was a big lesson on my part. But yeah, I did kind of lose interest in trading after that. But God, it's an adrenaline rush sitting there scalping.
you talk about lessons though. You learn to listen, and we've learned a shitload of lessons over the last 2 to 3 years.
Six
at least. And it's like
years, not less.
Most people look at these blimmin' failed opportunities, these opportunities as failures, and they're not. They're lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course they are. Yep, 100%.
And if Andrew and I weren't awake to that and gone through those whole processes, probably, like many of you who will watch this have probably experienced the same thing. It's getting to a point where you can actually look back and recognize the lessons, because there's something presented to you that shows that gives you the information to know that that's right. It's not like all the lessons from before.
Absolutely.
That is why we're so friggin' excited right now.
Yeah, because you build on it, don't you? You build on it, and that makes all the difference. When you restart, if you ever have to rebuild, you're not rebuilding from scratch. Sound like my son then. You're not rebuilding from scratch. You're rebuilding from the knowledge that you've got and the lessons that you've gained, and that makes it that much easier to build those solid foundations. And then it doesn't happen. If you do fall again, you don't fall as far, which is is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So back on the XRP, you and I, we've spoken here on the show that we believe that that's probably going to be a world currency. It's going to be what the international settlements are going to be done between banks. Well, there are still banks, because let's face it, the way the banks are carrying on right now, people are losing trust in them fast. So they're actually being their own worst enemy. And more people, social media's, I mean, I know they've tried to censor social media, and they do to a point, but they actually tried to shut it down years and years ago. Obama tried to pass a bill that never ever got traction because people saw it for what the fuck it was. It was a censorship bill. But people are still sharing their experiences. And when people share their bad experience with a bank saying, I can't even withdraw my own money because the bank won't let me, that shit goes viral. And when people see that, they then hear stories of other people having trouble, so they're like, well, I'm not going to put my money anywhere near that because I'm going to lose it. I feel sorry for the people, even though it's mirrored on the QFS. I feel sorry for the people that have got $100,000+ in the bank, because in all likelihood they're going to lose it. Certainly in the short term.
Well, if you think about it, for those that aren't really awake to the bigger picture, what's going on, and you say yes, it's mirrored, and we don't know that for 100% sure.
No, we don't.
We kind of cross that.
We've got faith. Yeah.
I mean, for those that don't know that, and like they lose all their life savings, or they think that they've lost all their life savings, they'll top themselves. The suicide rates will go through the roof, because it's just like they can't live with it.
Yep.
And it's like, I guess that's where we'll probably hop into the play before them with any luck. But that's that's the sort of some of the bigger bloody shit that could go down because of those that just aren't aware of what's really going on.
Yeah, 100%. But there is good news on the XRP front, so let's have a look. Have a listen to this, ladies, gents.
Breaking news to all the XRP holders. As you guys already know, I'm a real estate developer. So what I'm about to tell you actually makes me happy. You can now use your XRP to purchase homes in United Emirates Dubai. Yes, the company MAG, M-A-G, a really big real estate developer, announced that now they will be accepting XRP to sell their properties. So you don't have to worry about off-ramping from XRP to fiat anymore. This is a really big deal, guys. That's why the OBI application, the real estate marketplace application, allows you to use XRP inside the application to buy and sell homes. So next step, you'll be using our application to buy homes in Dubai with your XRP. Follow and share, and comment below any questions you have, and I'll answer in a video. No matter what happens down the case, this is a big win for XRP holders. Breaking news to...
Absolutely.
That is huge. So we're just talking about the beginning of the show, the blooming
on-ramps and off-ramps.
Off-ramps. It's like we don't need an off-ramp anymore to buy real estate. Now, when the lawsuit finishes and the shackles come off that token and it goes, like whatever you're holding now, one of your first purchases might be real estate in Dubai, and you won't need to go through the banks. You won't need to go through all that bullshit, and probably all the middlemen they're going to cut and dice and take the dollar value all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll be the same for conveyancing and everything, because everything will be blockchain based. So so much simpler.
But if you think about that, if that company is the first company out the block to do it, and that's the first that I've heard of from being able to purchase real estate. I've heard of Bitcoin being able to do that, which is probably pretty dodgy. I don't know if you could still want to do that now. But XRP, you imagine what else will come off of that really quickly.
Sorry, go carry on.
Is the beginning of the new financial system away from the banking.
Absolutely. Let's stop and look at that for a second, though. They're talking about a developer in Dubai. Okay, what's Dubai known for? They're at the cutting edge. They're at the start of everything. If it happens in Dubai, if it happens anywhere in the world, it's probably happened in Dubai first, like 6 to 12 months earlier. They are on the cutting edge of everything they do, and they are well connected. So do you think that they're gonna? Do you think? And here's the other thing to remember: all of the development companies in Dubai are owned by the royalty. They're all owned by the royal family. They've all got their fingers in the pies there. All the sheiks are in all the property development. So for them to openly accept it like that, they know what's coming. They know it's close. Otherwise, they wouldn't have announced it.
Yeah. And if those sheiks over there that aren't part of that, they're buried out in the desert somewhere.
They don't do that anymore. They're not allowed to.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, sorry.
Or we can't say it, one of the two.
Love you guys.
Yeah. Please don't cut our hands off.
Yeah. I'll buy some property, promise.
But I think this one right here is probably the biggest indicator of all that we've seen so far. XRP gets recognized by Atlanta Federal Reserve as global payment solution. That was on the 29th of May.
Wow.
So think about that for a second. We know that XRP or Ripple, the board from Ripple, have been in conversation with well over 150 countries, or institutions in over 150 countries, well over 200, and you might go, well, 200 is not that many, Andrew. Yeah, maybe not. But if you think about the countries, 150 countries, but well over 200 financial institutions, they're already operating on their ledger, just a private ledger. We just can't see it. That's the true value of what XRP is on the private ledger. Once that comes over,
you've got,
again, not financial advice.
There's a big meeting in Russia right now. I think there's 140 countries that are represented, and it's all to do with BRICS nation and creating their payment system. That's the same time this month that the judge has got to finally make a decision. Oh, another timing mechanism.
Yeah, another thing that coincidentally times up.
And interesting enough, I'm pretty sure Iraq will be represented there as well. Have their representatives.
I wouldn't be surprised if Australia was represented there.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see who's on the list. I'm not surprised me if they're already there, because there's so many negotiations that need to go on in all these different areas. And it's
exactly.
Just
and like, from what we've read and what we've seen, there's already nations that are in BRICS that haven't been announced, and that are, well, Australia is one of them, the US is another, the UK is another. They're already there, but nothing's been announced. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was representatives from those countries there at all.
And here's the bigger picture. It's like, we know that when they start talking about it in the public arena,
it's already happened. Yeah, it's already done. Exactly.
So that's really, really exciting. And I guess kind of kicking off from the US and the debt ceiling, and that, it's all part and parcel of the same show.
The same movie.
And to move us into the new financial system.
We're in the third act of the movie, and it's almost finished. I know some parts have been really fucking boring, and you just like hurry up and get on with it. But we're in my mind, we're in the third act of the movie, and we're real close to the. We've had all the plot twists. Now we just got to wait for the reveal. Yeah,
and what will the reveal look like? Will it be them peeling off their masks so we can see who those real actors are behind the masks?
Oh no, the reveal might end with like some swinging things. Without saying too much, because we get shut down. Hey guys, if you're not following us on Rumble yet, please jump over and do that there. The link is in the description of this. Obviously, we're on Telegram as well if you want to jump in Telegram. The conversation's been quiet there this week, although Neil has posted a few things there just because we've been busy. But yeah, jump if we ever get taken off YouTube, which is possible. I've already had content removed from YouTube on this channel from February for medical misinformation, even though what I said has been proved true. But the WHO didn't approve of it. So anyway, that's that. But yes, go.
Telegram. I did one of the things that I just posted on Telegram. I think it was Telegram. Oh no,
I think it was Telegram.
I mean, here's nature at its finest. So, guys, a couple of some people out fishing. A shark comes up behind the boat with a turtle in its mouth, right? Swims up behind the boat, and it manages to get the turtle on the deck of the boat, not on the deck, but on the back, just off the back of the boat. Yep. And they grab the turtle out of the shark, and the shark just sort of swam off peacefully, nothing else. So it was delivering the turtle. They pulled the turtle up, and it had this bloody thing stuck in its throat. and it was almost suffocating. They pulled it upside down and basically freed it from bloody rubbish that's been put into the ocean. Cleaned it up. It was digging into its friggin' neck, and they let it go and it swam free. It's like,
I thought you were going to say they let it go and the shark come back and ate it.
oh, cut that out. No.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Carol saw that too. She saw it. It's just fantastic. It's really heartwarming. Nature at its finest. And,
absolutely. There's so much we don't understand about it. Yeah. It's interesting.
But I think that's the world we're coming back to.
Yep.
The future world we're moving to, because in our lifetime and lifetimes before us, it's been dark and fight to kill each other for survival.
Yeah.
What the future is coming is that type of world that we live in, where we all look after each other for the right reasons.
100%, mate. 100%. And and that's shining out. And those people that are already in that, and I know this term gets so overused. So I use it lightly, right? Or I don't use it lightly. I use it because it's the best describer for it. But those heart-centered people that really care about lifting other people up, they're the ones that are really going to do good in the opportunities, particularly what you and I found right now. It's perfect for heart-centered people that just want to see others succeed. And I think there's going to be more opportunities like that moving forward for everyone. There's going to be opportunities for everyone to do humanitarian stuff if they want to do that. But there's going to be plenty of projects. And you know what? There's going to be plenty of funding for those projects too. So let's go. I'm
so excited for the world to come. And we're not going to be here next Thursday.
Or the Thursday after.
But those are the middle of June, and so much potential stuff that's going on with the sort of the everything that's sort of coming to a point of something has to give.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see. We may need to get on and do an impromptu one and force Andrew out of his holiday time, depending on what transpires globally. But
if we do, it won't be with any of the livery that we've got here. or any of these.
No, and I guess if we do go live, it'll be joyous. It'll be celebration.
Celebratory.
Yeah, celebratory. I was going to say that, but I don't want to say it wrong, and that you would correct me.
Come on, Neil. I'm not that bad. I didn't correct you about Dubai.
Dubai.
Hey, you know what that I've noticed with all of that, with my correcting you of pronunciation of places, you still pronounce Harren's name right and I don't.
See, because you're always correcting me, I always thought that the fact that I was right, I always thought I was wrong because so I'd say it both ways. We've got to get that guy back on the show. We've got to get her in on the show.
I was talking to him before, and he goes, "Oh, you guys doing your show today?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I said you should come on." He goes, "No." It's like, "Why not, man? Come on the show." "No, I'm too busy." He's packing his house up. He's got to move again. Whole family. And Amar is in hello Amar, if you're watching, is in Malaysia. Sadly for family reasons. So wishing all your family over there goodwill.
Yeah. You are never far away from our thoughts and our hearts. That whole family. Ever. Yeah. Awesome family. Awesome.
But with that, guys, we've run out of shit to say. That's why we keep babbling. So and Neil and I got a heap of work to do. But hey, we won't be back next time, the same time next week, nor the week after, but we will be in 3 weeks' time. So make sure you check in. And as Neil said, if there's something really big to announce, we'll get on somehow and do it. But we love having you here. Thank you very much for coming and spending 3/4 an hour with us. And we'll be back soon enough.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Take care, guys. Be safe out there.